Hello everyone, it is I, that kid with red hair, the best anime YouTuber of all time, who's made millions of videos, here again with Nanatel, who some of you have actually searched up, who doesn't have a channel, but I put her name in the title, so obviously you think she has a channel. Say hi.
Hi, I don't have a channel.
It's just beautiful. Anyway,
Thank you.
we finally finished what is it called? AQ Rondo Alice Rondo. That's it. Eternal Alice.
I thought it was like Kagehime something.
Kagehime.
I just
Eternal
forgot the
Alice.
title, you fool.
AQ Rondo. It's such a fucking long ass title. It's so dumb.
It's like a novel.
It is a light novel title, but it's not. It's a manga, but whatever. And we decided we weren't going to do episode by episode because it's not that good, and we wanted to just finish it in one go. So we could just talk about it all in one go. And we did. And
painful.
Initial thoughts, now tell, on Eternal Alice. Overall, what did you think?
I gotta say, it was not the best thing I've ever experienced. That's my main...
It's kind of my fault. I'm sorry I put you through this. This is my bad. I'm so sorry. It's all
It was
my fault.
a memorable experience that I will retain.
Nanatel's got a really good memory as well. She can remember things. She's almost eidetic, I'd say. But sorry for the bolstering on the YouTube channel, you know. You
I
probably don't like this.
didn't ask for this.
You didn't ask for this, but anyway. How much can you remember of it?
Not that much. It's just like a chaotic fever dream. Colour. And
It is.
sound.
Yeah, so I've looked up the show, and a lot of the faults it has that I would credit to amateurism, which is what I was expecting. It's not actually that fault. It's made by like two studios who've both done a lot of co-productions, and they've worked on a lot of shows before this. But no, this is like not. Maybe the staff's new or something, but this is just really poorly produced, really poorly written. The source material clearly isn't good, but there's a lot of flaws with it. It has some of the worst character designs. Got to announce that again. I've ever seen ever in anime. It's on par with Alpha Lead. I can't struggle. I think it's worse, maybe just about. But hey, the colours are just a mess. What did you think of the colours? Like, what the fuck was going on? Like,
There were colours.
it was a big mess.
Makes sense.
So this was a 12-episode series based on a manga, which then also had no make. So it had a bonus episode, so you could see other characters from the manga, because so many fans wanted this show, because there are so many fans of this anime and manga. There are so many fans, in fact, that I can't find the manga anywhere online. So, you know what? I will confirm that now.
popular.
I will quickly confirm. I will go to the second page of Google, just to know I've been thorough. All right.
Oh
Alright.
no.
This ain't no. I'm working. I'll do it now. So what do you think of the main character? Explain. Go.
Aruto.
That's his
is-
name. You remembered it. Well done.
Yeah, information has been retained. He is a male.
He is a
He
male. Yes, because he's the main character of a like harem series. Sorry, yeah, he's a male. Of course he is.
Yeah, he has bluish hair that changes colour sometimes.
Does it? Wait.
Occasionally, in a couple scenes, it was like really grey.
Grey,
and
yeah. So I was thinking grey.
brown.
The colours sort of just like they in the city scene. They just change. Like they just go from
Yeah.
greyish walls to orange to brown to grey.
With
Just-
like no bearing.
No
for
bear. It's not like
anything.
relevant to any thematic purpose. It hasn't got a thematic purpose or a
I think
narrative.
they just forgot what colour.
It just didn't really
They
care
were
because
using.
it's basically there's a lot of inspiration from Alice in Wonderland in this series, because each of one of the things I discovered is that each of the titles of the episodes is based on a part of a thing or an event in the Alice in Wonderland books. You've read Alice in Wonderland. It's a lot better than this.
Yes.
Yeah, fair enough. I've seen the film, yeah, the Disney one, but yeah, it takes a lot of influence. It doesn't use it to its advantage, though. It also has the characters in this show. So it's kind of like a Monster of the Week thing, where every episode we discover a new... Oh, sorry, I gotta work backwards. In the show, there are people called Alice Seekers. Now, this show makes literally no sense because people become Alice Seekers. We're not explained how. We see how it happens. They like speak a few lines, like to some ethereal voice that's just there. And the manga is nowhere to be found. And they become an Alice Seeker. So we're not explained. Anyone can just become one. I mean, if there are limitations, they are not explained. And we know only women can. That's the only limitation we know. Because Naruto is a mysterious superhero. He's a mysterious boy, isn't he? Because he can go into this stuff called Wonder Space, which is where they fight and wager their books. They have books in their hearts, which contain stories. And all of these stories are required to create a thing called the Eternal Alice, which is where the name comes from. Now, why does anyone want to become an Alice Seeker? Explain that, Kay. Go. Why?
You put the stories together and they make a bigger story.
Yeah, but why do you want to become one? Why do you want to become an Alice Seeker? All you can do, your only power is to fight in Wonder Space. Okay, Wonder Space is a very weird thing. It's not explained how it works. But
you get to look very cool in very well choreographed fights that are very well done.
The fight direction in this show is complete dog shit. No joke. Like there is no energy in the way they move. They just sort of float around.
It's a very good understanding of space.
Oh yeah. They can never convey space. There's no establishing shots at all. Like people run into a room, they run into the library or something, and like we don't know where they are in comparison to the enemies. They're just there. We just see the back of them. We don't know where they entered from. We don't see the room. Yeah, when they fight, they just like a lot of the fight animation and the effects animation is awful. In episode 5, we saw scenes of like flames because each Alice Seeker has like a unique quirk, which I will give praise because there's a bit of variety in the powers, and at least the designs are trying to go for something unique. They just all are really ugly, but the fire effects, the fires are just there and they float and they don't spread. They're just there. They just stay there and they're there and that's it. And they don't move. And we saw 2 attacks in that episode where the camera was hovering on a fireball, and you would see 2 frames of animation going back and forth towards, and it would just zoom in on an opponent. It was the cheapest shit I've ever seen in my life. Oh my god, it was incredible. It was a fever dream. I think it was meant to be a fever dream, and if it was, they succeeded. It's not a good show, but they did a good job of making it feel like a dream, because none of it makes sense. So if that was the goal, well done, creators.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, you nailed it. I'm proud. But yeah. Fuck me. So, the voice acting. What did you think of that in the show?
Some of it wasn't awful. Some of it.
Kiraha is his little sister who really loves him, and that is her
I
entire.
want to kill the voice actress.
That is her entire personality. She just loves her brother.
She wants to shag him.
She really does. She really wants his dick. But he doesn't. Naruto is like, okay, he's just a really sympathetic guy. He's really nice to everyone. He can't harm anyone. But he's inconsistent. Because there is one episode where we meet an Alice Seeker who is like a ghost, and she's draining his life force. That's not explained, but it's a thing. So his life force is being drained, and we see it visually. It is represented. Thankfully, they actually did a detail on that one. They actually showed that. Thank you, animators. But you see like his, you see his skull, so like the muscles being drained, so he's like dying. Classic.
Was she even an Alice Seeker, or was she just...
She was fighting them, I think. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so she was draining his life force, and in one scene, Kiraha's concerned about him, as she would be, because she loves him so much, and he's, like, dying, but then, he's such a nice guy. He's somehow horrible to his sister, who's concerned about him, despite the fact that he is dying. He's literally going to die if he doesn't do anything about this. So I don't get this. Why would you then... He gets angry at her, shouts at her, and pushes her out of the way. It's a bit like, alright, So even he's quite inconsistent, despite the fact that his only trait is that he's a really nice guy. And he's really sympathetic. I think that was the only time he wasn't that, but, it was a bit strange. It was a bit altruistic of him.
He, proper shoved her.
Yeah, pretty bad. Just to be with this Alice Eager that was hurting him, who was actually a ghost. And then they had this, a big emotional moment where he kisses her and the tears form in his eye. Really poorly, but they do. Oh, man, they tried. Much like, so back to the whole idea of the Alice Eagers. They become them for no reason. The Eternal Alice is a book that's made up of all their stories, and they have Keyblades, like in, what's the game series? Kingdom Hearts. Do you know Kingdom Hearts?
I've never played Kingdom Hearts.
Have you seen characters holding the Keyblades?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like that, but everyone has a heart in Kingdom Hearts, but in this they just have their stories in books, which is the kind of cool thing. I like the fact that they use Keyblades, that's cool, I like that aesthetic. They unlock their hearts. There's one okay effect of them unlocking the hearts. That's about it. But it's kind of just really shit because the Eternal Alice is constantly expanding because surely more and more people can become them. We're not told that no other place you can become an Alice Seeker in any other place. It just makes narrative sense that you can only become one in the library in the show, right? But why wouldn't you be able to make them anywhere? Surely people can just keep expanding the Eternal Alice so that the mission will never be finished. You'll never get it done. It doesn't make sense.
It's going to be a very long book.
Yes, it's a very long book. And the main character just wants to read it. That was his goal. That was his motive. And he's writing his own books of his own. So he's a very, very artistic boy, Naruto. There's a lot of bickering, as you would expect in a harem show, which is not entertaining. It's just whatever. It's just shit. I mean, oh my god. The setting is a mess as well. So you've got this old medieval town, it's all brick laid and everything. It's all nice, you've got slabs of stone, rock across the entire town. So we don't know what year it's really set in because there are computers, right? But there is one scene. Can you explain that, Kay? You haven't said much. Do you remember?
Wait, which scene are you talking about?
where we kind of figure out what time it's set in. Because there's he goes into a store and the year 1867's in my brain.
Oh yeah, and he's like, this store must have been open a long time, and then the storekeeper's like, actually no, we just put that up to make it feel old timey.
Really?
Yeah. Did you miss that part?
Is that what he said? No.
Yeah. Oh my god, I can't believe you missed that. It's funny.
We put that up to make it feel old timey.
It wasn't quite that exact wording.
I'm paraphrasing, but yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not even set in modern day, but there are computers.
There are computers, but I don't.
Oh, so it is more recent, so it probably is that. But they still use the old classic telephones, which was the weird thing. You didn't use modern.
Yeah, from the 50s.
It's really strange, yeah. So there's a lot of anachronistic sort of things going on. I don't know when it's set.
And people in the background were always staring at a mobile phone as well.
People, in the streets, it was very rare you'd see background people animated. Only foreground, background characters.
Why were they staring at mobile phones but all our main characters kept using...
I don't know. They were always staring at a window or anything, so they couldn't be asked to animate them. But they wanted to make
never moved. It's like a scary mannequin town.
It was awful. Yeah. So the characters fight in Wonder Space. The fight choreography is awful. No tension at all. Ever felt in the entire show. Oh my god. What else is there?
There's so much I don't know what to say.
We noticed so many things with it, but they're not coming back to me. There's so many...
It's because it's all gone in the fever dream. It's all in one...
It's been so long. I should have written these things down quickly. Oh no, there's more things. There's more things. Fuck. Come on. So there's also... The characters are all cliches at the end of the day. You have the other blonde-haired girl. They all have massive tits. There's no variety in the tit size. I have to address that because that pisses me off. They're just huge. The shoulder pads, though, what the fuck were they? What were they? That was the weirdest design choice of all time.
They were like 3 times the size of everyone's head. It was intense.
The characters are almost like a lot of the time off model. They can never do the profile shot. Never get it right. They never got that right. But the hair. Every female character in the show looked like they had 3 hairstyles packed onto their head. Every time, didn't they? Come on. They were trying to do every hairstyle at once.
There's a lot of hair involved.
It was too much. It was just so shit. Like, come on. Less is more sometimes. I was saying that during the show. Less is more. Oh my god. Thematically, what was relevant at all? Like, what?
There were themes.
You sure?
What were the themes?
I don't know. That's the one thing I don't know. I don't think I could name one. Yes, they fight a different Alice Seeker every week. Okay, then we find the villain, Tachyon. Right, he's the guy who wants to get all the novels and make the Eternal Alice. And don't watch the show. It doesn't matter if we spoil it. Here's spoiler talk now, I guess. At the end of the show, we find out that was it his wife?
I don't know if they were married. I don't know if that was ever said. They were like together. Yeah, they were together, but then in the past she was like smaller, like she was younger, even though they were like lovers, but it was like framed like she was his kid. It was so weird.
Yeah. It was like, so we have the main villain, Tachyon, who wears like an outfit that makes him look like Robin Hood. And then you have this woman who's also, she lies to him because he'd clearly left many women. So she thought, okay, this is her motive. She thought he was going to leave him, right? And she was afraid that he'd leave her. So to get back at him, she had to make up a lie about the thing called the Eternal Alice, which is where every Alice Seeker's story is compiled together. She then says she's been searching for the books for years and years, implying, because we see her go from a young child when she was with him to when she's like an adult, that it's at least a decade. And he's still with her, still trusting her.
And also the reason that he was searching for the Eternal Alice is because she told him that it could grant a wish, and he wanted to wish that they both had eternal life.
Eternal life. He wanted to be with her in matrimony forever. That was the kind... That suggests a commitment that he wants to make. So surely the moment he said that he wanted that would suggest to her that he does care about her. And because they've been together so long. But then she fucking backstabs him. He freaks out. He then gets killed. He literally like ages up and he just like turns into dust. But in a really poorly animated way. But it happens. He has his 2 Alices, who are his daughters, who are very, very knowledgeable of everything and very weird and then don't do anything.
They weren't his daughters. They were other Alices that he created. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
It's true. It's weird though because it's like they would in the last episode they just stood around and did nothing. They just watched everything happen. They were just like there. They just spawned in the scene like, hey guys. They're just like watching Aruto like write the book like, hey. They
weren't even like animated most of the time. They were just spilling in the background.
They were weird. Yeah, this show also has the thing with like the Berserk anime does. Not many anime have this, but they have the little opening narration at the beginning, trying to talk about the overarching themes of the show. And like, I didn't actually understand the last line in that for ages because it just didn't make sense. I couldn't read it. But it's like when you have all the... I can't remember. It's gone. It's
like when the power of your dreams, like the power of your imagination becomes a power to shape reality or something.
That was it, yeah. Oh, well done.
Oh my goodness, that just came to me.
I don't know. See, eidetic memory. Anyway. Yeah, it's just bullshit. The backgrounds are all disgusting, awful, generic shit.
Brown. Lots of brown.
Not as brown as Attack on Titan, but it is attempts to be more colourful than that. But, you know... Attack on Titan is better than this. Because at least the threat is identifiable. There's just no threat. Because you can only fight and... Okay, they have to wager their story in a battle. This is how you have to get all the Eternal Alices, or get all the books for the Eternal Alice, you need to wager your body in a battle. You have to go into Wonder Space. So if you never go into the Wonder Space, you never have to lose your book. And also that takes your memories as well, so you just forget everything. But why would you ever do it? Why would you ever go in there? Just have one of your guys, because they were a little team, right? There was a group of them. You had a harem. Have one of them never go into Wonder Space, and then he can never officially lose, I guess, like a game in a way. Like the Wonder Space is never explained. It just sort of spreads. It's not like you go through a wall and you're in it. It just happens. It just is there.
Shit. We're in Wonder Space
and
now.
Early on, they didn't really show it happening, so we thought they were fighting in the actual streets and they were just destroying things. It's a decent plot
device. It was weird though, because they showed like lights on in the windows.
Yeah, but you would expect them to be off. That's what I would portray them as. You know, in the Wonder Space they were on. But yeah, they did show them in later episodes, like actually changing colour as you were watching the scene. I think they realised how they fucked up not making it clear you're in Wonder Space, so they had to make it clearer in later episodes. So they realised their mistake. But yeah, oh my god, it just doesn't make sense. The Wonder Space doesn't make sense. The powers don't make sense. There is like, oh my god, it's just incredible.
Yeah.
There is one girl has like a really interesting power who's introduced in episode 8 with the ability to like force you to remember your worst memories. So like that can be kind of used to have like a psychological torment. Like that could have been done well. But after that's explained, we see her use her power. And they visually represent it of them having dreams instead of actually having a memory. So they just fucked it up. They just didn't do the power right. They didn't do it right. They just explained it that way and then didn't do it that way. I don't get it. How do you fuck that up?
Consistency is an important thing.
Oh my god. Naruto rejects his sister's,
weird advances.
But then later on he's like, I don't know, maybe I do like you. I don't know, I can't decide. There's also another girl called Kisa who's part of the harem, but she likes Kiraha a lot.
Naruto's sister.
And she's like obsessed with her. She makes cookies of her face and everything. And it's like, wow, endearing. No, it's just creepy. It's just... man, what else is there to say? I think we said most, to be honest.
Yeah, it's kind of like they got so many things wrong that you can't pick it apart.
You could write down a list of everything, and we could go for it.
You could, but you might also go insane.
Just every part on the aesthetic level, the music.
Everything
we haven't talked about the music.
Wrong.
We haven't talked about.
Oh
music.
my god, music is terrible.
So there's one song that plays in every intro, and then you hear it at like the end of the show as well, and it's like the worst thing ever. And they do play the intro theme in the final battle, which is beautiful. A lot of anime do that to try and have like the emotional moment. But the music is just so cloying and annoying and repetitive. And it's all like MIDI music, basically. I think that's all we really say. It's all the like MIDI compressed file bullshit, that kind of thing. I'd say.
Yeah.
Really, just trash, complete trash. And a lot of the time, you can't even tell what atmosphere it's going for.
Yeah.
It's kind of
A lot of
totally
it is
confused.
It's like loading screen music. It has no emotion.
I remember you describing it like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It is though.
It's loading screen music. Yeah, when he's walking through the street, it was like that.
It's like, what does this mean?
Is this song meant to be like mysterious or sad? What? I don't know. It's like it doesn't actually. It's actually impressive how it doesn't convey an obvious mood. It's so amazing that a song can do that. Because I thought it was so easy to create tone music. That's like one of music's best strengths over any other medium. But no, they fuck that up.
It's just noise.
It is just noise.
It is.
Like, that is incredible. There was no good songs on the entire soundtrack. Nothing stood out as like, oh, that's a decent song. No, none of it. So yeah, it completely fails on all the design elements. The character lines are ugly. They never animate well. All the fight choreography is awful. The whole idea behind the Eternal Alices doesn't make sense because it would just keep building. Their motives are never explained very well. They all have backstories, but one character had a backstory where she was burning everything up. She wanted to kill everything related to Alice. And, of course, the main character's writing his own Alice novels, so she's trying to burn his materials. She has a backstory where her parents... She loves her parents. Her mum reads one book to her and says the word Alice. And then a woman's holding her and her parents walk away. And that's justification for her to, like, be angry. Like, it's not, it's just like, why? Did the parents abandon her, or was she forced, was she taken captive? It's just not obvious. It's just not clear at all. Who was that woman that was holding her? Why is she not relevant to her backstory? What, can you explain who she is?
She read the word Alice once.
And that was it. She hated everything Alice. I came up with a much better backstory, like, in 2 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know, her father could have been, like, really into Alice, and he had, like, whole bedrooms full of, like, posters related to, like, Alice in Wonderland and shit, and, like, loads of little figurines and stuff. He could have been obsessive, like, an otaku. And then he could have abused her, and they could have then abandoned her, and then she would have reason to hate everything Alice. But no, they walk away, and she's being held by another woman. All the backstories are just shit. It's awful. There's one scene that was also quite ludicrous, which was when the other girl had her friend, some of the minor characters, and they're playing hide and seek, and she goes into a coffin in the church. There's just an open coffin, and she gets in it and then closes it, and then her other friend comes near her, knows she's in there. Why did she let her just go?
Yeah, some dudes came in.
Some 3 dudes just come in immediately, didn't check the coffin, it's just all closed, therefore we have to throw it, and then they just throw it in the furnace.
And they just had a furnace on hand as well. They didn't have to travel to a crematorium.
No.
There was just one very near.
It was a furnace near. It's a fantasy one. Don't argue. Don't argue.
The other girl just watched as her friend was, like, burned. Yeah. But then, future plot twist, the burned girl wasn't actually burned.
I know.
And then that wasn't explained either. We never saw her again after that. It was just, I wasn't burned. Ha!
I don't. This show fails on so many levels, narratively, and yeah. That one girl with the power of, like, bringing back memories is pretty cool. She had the best design of all of them, because she was tanned with blonde hair. But she still looked ugly, but she was better looking than any other character. And yeah, there was one scene when they went to, like, Alice Space, whatever, the Wonder Space, and you got, like, these awful crayon drawings of creatures. They really tried to go for the crayon aesthetic. And when they moved, like, all the material in them would jitter wrong. It was really ugly. But they all still look better than the entire rest of the show. I remember saying that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
It was a great show.
It was a great time. So, final score?
2. I think I gave it a 2.
Elfen Lied I'd put below it just because it has worse scenes, but I would give it a decent to strong 1.
It's very high, was there?
I think we talked about most things. I think there's a few more inconsistencies with, like, the Wonder Space gimmicks. Yeah, but the Keyblades, I kind of like that aesthetic. I like that idea. Other than that, that's the only aesthetic thing I like. And there's a few okay powers. They have variety. Those are the only good things I can really say about it.
Do they?
They have. Well, there's variety in the designs. In the Omake.
Oh yeah, in the designs.
They have to force...
I thought you meant in the, like, Alice powers, and the powers was, like, hitting a key with another key.
No, there are some other Alice Seekers with powers. Yeah.
I know.
But, like, no, the credit sequence, one more thing, shows all of the characters, and there were so many, but this is only a 12-episode show, so I concluded there has to be more than one in some episodes, and which was correct in one episode, but the Omake had to, like, stick 3 in, like 4, because it was them going into an adventure world or whatever. Yeah, it was great. Oh yeah, Arisu. We didn't even talk about Arisu.
Oh my god.
She's Alice. She doesn't have a personality at all. No.
She had no personality. There's nothing to say.
She got frozen like Han Solo at the end, which was great. Yeah, in a nice block. She didn't actually exist, but she did.
Aruto was writing a book, and that book somehow was the Eternal Alice itself, and didn't make sense. And he was making Arasu exist with his book because the book was about her, even though he said many times that like she wasn't in any pages of the book, but then she just said a line that was like, read your own story, and then he just looked confused, and then like she started ascending or something, and then
I
don't just accept it at that point.
Brain like I don't sometimes I do be like that, yeah, she's the main girl, she's the one, the red fucking white and orange outfit. Weird mix.
She was super cool.
Oh my god, my head. I can't. This show, it just fucked me the wrong way. It's just amazing how they never tried to sort any of the plot consistencies out, or like the animation staff never tried to improve.
They weren't even trying.
They weren't
From
trying.
To the next, it would like they'd make a statement in one scene and then break it like after the next cut.
Yeah,
it's like, ow.
How can you fuck it up? How can the writer not go, hey guys, we just made this? Because they tried to have it so that they wanted to have their cake and eat it too by having what was it? Alice be both independent, but also be like written by Aruto. So like Aruto's saving her, but she's also doing it of her own accord. They wanted to have the strong female character, but they also wanted to have the narrative. They wanted to have narrative-driven scene and a character-driven scene. It's so dumb.
Because Aruto created her so he could write
her story, which is,
So he's like frantically scribbling the things that she does, and then he's like, well, you're only doing these things because I made you. And then she's like, no, I'm doing it because I want to. She's like, well, I can't really... But then she's like, well, I can't even remember what it was. I can't do this because you haven't written it.
But then she remembered the fact that she exists in a harem series and she needs to support the main character to make him good because it's wish fulfillment for teenage boy. So, yeah. She has to bolster him up so that the actual audience, the 11-year-old boy watching, feels good about himself because he's Aruto. Yeah.
It was great. It was a great time.
It was fantastic.
It was a romp.
One of my favourite anime. And very few get above 3, so like it's lucky you get a 2. Like rounds up to a 2. Yeah. This is the worst anime you've ever seen. Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's down there with me. I need to rewatch Day Alive so I can confirm where that go. But I don't want to, but it's there. Well, I'm glad we had this discussion.
Yes. I can never speak of it again.
Now we can just pretend it never exists and we can just meme it. Oh yeah, there was a really bad comedy in it. Nothing made me laugh either. There was like one joke, one repeated gag about Alice.
You said that joke like 6 times.
Her name is written in hiragana, not katakana, and they always laugh at that.
Haha, funny.
That's a big ha. And if you don't even know what those are, you won't even get the joke. So good luck.
It's not a good joke.
But yeah. Anyway. Well, good chat. And thanks for listening, guys. It was a good discussion on Eternal Alice. We'll never have to watch this show again. And I'll see you guys next time. Say bye.
Bye, lads.